Mizuhashi Sunoka asks, please make a video about dodging the Electro Hammer Fatui. Got it. The Electro Fatui has two attacks, a single overhead swing, and three separate swings in moderate succession. The single swing gives the Electro Fatui a lot of coverage and speed because he dashes towards you to hit you with it. If there's a lot of ground that he needs to cover to reach you, he'll use this attack to close the distance, and he can go pretty far. This can catch you off guard if you're distracted with other enemies and aren't keeping track of the Electro Fatui, which can happen frequently since Fatui enemies almost always spawn in squads, and other Fatui enemies like the water or ice gunners usually take priority when you attack them. However, this attack on its own is actually pretty slow and telegraphed. If this is all you need to deal with, you can dash away or iframe it easily. If you have Beidou, this is one of the easier attacks to parry because it's so telegraphed. So the Electro Fatui is a pretty good enemy to use for parry practice if you want to train yourself in that. Just try not to get hit. The Wrecka is only used when the Electro Fatui is already up close to you. If his last attack was the overhead swing and he's at close range to you, his next attack should be this triple swing. The first hit of this attack comes out a lot faster than the overhead, and it'll definitely clip you a few times if you're not used to it. All the Electro Fatui's hits on both attacks knock down, except for this first hit of the Wrecka. This gives you a chance to get out of his range and avoid taking more damage. A good tactic to counter this is to dash towards the Electro Fatui if you can, because he has a hard time tracking you if you get behind him, and he'll waste his attacks pounding the ground where you used to be, like his name is Amelia Watson. Make sure to dash around him, not straight into him, since he'll body block you and smack you anyway. Also note that when the Electro Fatui pops his elemental armor, his hammer gains an AoE Electro Buff, so any attack that he does that hits the ground, which is most of them, will cause a small AoE electric burst. Most of the time, this doesn't make his attacks any more difficult to dodge, but from time to time, this can clip you, so just in case, whenever you get the chance, dash towards the Electro Fatui so that he has the hardest time hitting you, and you minimize your chances of getting clipped by the electric AoE. Your best defense against him is to simply pay attention to him. This might be hard to do in the middle of a fight, but because his attacks are so slow and telegraphed, always having a general idea of what he's up to means that you can preempt yourself to iframe or get away from his attacks when he comes charging in. The difficulty in dealing with the Electro Fatui isn't that his attacks are particularly hard to dodge, but rather, like I said earlier, it's his ability to take you by surprise because you're busy with other enemies and then smack you with his heavy attacks, most of which can knock down and put you in an even worse position. Of course, you could always just burst them down first so that you don't have to deal with them, but as I mentioned earlier, if a Hydra Gunner spawns, for example, you'd really like to kill him first instead. In addition, the Electro Fatui doesn't really do anything other than attack you, and because his attacks are slow, he has a surprising amount of downtime where he isn't really doing much, and that's before what happens if you break his armor with cryo. So, if you dodge his attacks, you have a good 5 seconds or so before he attacks again. That's it for this video, thanks for watching.